Is anybody there? Hello? I'm not sure whether this is live, actually. Ah, we've got someone there. Hi, Simon Harding. Hello. Yeah, all I'm going to do is just mess around for... I thought I'll play on the C64 for an hour or something. Test out the live stream stuff, because I've been, you know, last stream I had problems with the mic, and I had problems with my camera. I couldn't get a camera working. We've now got standard definition camera, so yeah, hopefully that's working. I managed to get the correct aspect ratio here, and I think I've also managed to get the chat up as well. Hi Dave Curran, is it live or is it Memorex? Yeah, I'm Vincent GR, hey Nefers, hey Gadge, hi Nefers, I see C64 Balloonus. Yeah, I'm surprised how well the colours come out on this actually. This is just composite, but there are some, on certain games you do see the, what's it called, dot crawl a little bit, you know, from the composite on certain colour patterns and things. I noticed it before when I was testing a few games, but I thought we'll just give this a try. Hopefully the stream won't crash. Like I say, I'm only going to be around for maybe an hour, maybe till about 8:30, and I thought we'd just take some suggestions for games, have a play through some games, and maybe just do some questions and answers really. If anybody's got any questions about anything, any problems, systems are looking at, don't really know which way to go, etc., we could perhaps go through some of those sort of things. Perhaps have a bit of a waffle, talk about some of the things that have happened to me in the last week, I guess, to do with electronics and stuff, and just take it from there. I thought I'd start by just, we'll load this, if anybody's got any suggestions for games and things, just let me know, but we'll load this Star Wars demo here, mount the disc, and Shift F1, and return. I don't know if anyone's seen this new Star Wars demo, it's pretty good. I'll see if I can move a bit nearer so you can see my ugly mug. You might see the cats coming in and out of shot here from time to time as well. I've managed to set the C64 up on my knee here. Turn top chat to live. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So hopefully should see the whole lot of chat messages there. Hi Ian Scott Johnson. Hi Bocker's Retro Stuff. Eric Hurley, hi. CRG, hello. JNF Tech, hey hey hey. Yeah, I thought I'd show you this because it's quite impressive. Let me know if my volume's too quiet or if the C64's too loud. The colours look sweet, don't they? They come out really well on this composite capture. But you see there on the end, did you see the top of the end? There's like some bleed. Yeah, a bit there as well, the whites. I was blown away when I first saw this demo. I think it's really good. Yeah, I think it looks sweet. The thing that amazes me about this bit is how smooth you get the scrolling in a sec when the stormtroopers go from side to side. And it's kind of like an optical illusion. It looks like it's kind of going up to the right a little bit, yet somehow it's not. It's the same image but repeated across. It's quite cool. A4X, nice to see you here. All it's going to be this stream is just a waffle really, and questions and answers, a bit of a chat, you know, and suggestions if anyone wants me to play a game. Might not have played before, we can have a look at it. It beats just doing nothing really. I mean, my wife's away for the next 5 days I think, so it's just me and the cats. A bit quiet here. Watch a movie perhaps for about an hour or something, but yeah, the C64 is very impressive still, I think, these days. The sound, by the way, and the camera, it's a PS3 PS3 camera. I picked up one faulty and had a tinker with it and got it working. I've got it working in standard def at the moment though. I think it's only capturing something like 320 by 240, but it doesn't really need to be any higher res than that because obviously it's a small image up there. Just catching up with comments. C64 demo is always impressive, probably more so than Amiga due to the hardware. Yeah. Try Rocket Smash EX. Retro Revolutions, is that some sort of donation? I don't even think I've got donations set up, I don't know how that's working. But thank you very much if that is some sort of donation. I see that now, NZ $10, New Zealand dollars. Thank you very much, Retro Revolutions. Anybody who's watching this should check out Retro Revolutions' channel actually. He's done a number of really good videos recently. He did one on the Atari Lynx. You know, the full, like a consoleization of it really. He added joystick controller ports and stuff and video out, and you can, you know, plug up a controller, connect it up to the TV and use it as a console. And he did the same thing with the Game Boy Color like I did, but I think he took it a step further. I love this bit. The music's sweet on this. Done such a good job of this demo. Yeah, so Rocket Smash EX, I might be able to try that, but I don't think I've got that. If that's a recent piece of homebrew, I'll have to download it. Evil Frankie, you got any ST stuff planned, mate? Yes, I have. My ST's sat here on the desk, and I've been planning for the last 2 years to strip it down and do a number of things to it. The first thing is to tidy up a lot of the mods I've got in there, because I did a stereo mod to it. I had an internal MIDI. The MIDI is, I'm trying to think about this, yeah, the MIDI's okay, but the wiring is all permanent, you know, solid wires, so I wanted to make it kind of detachable, a bit like I did with the BBC. And the audio, the stereo audio mod inside there, it's not very loud. It needs some sort of amplifier solution. I think I did have an amp in there. I used the same circuit with the MVS, but yeah, it needs some work. The other thing I was going to do is remove all the onboard DRAM, because I think there's like, I'm trying to think how many, there's 16 DRAM chips on there just sucking up power that aren't used, because I have a 4 meg chip that I got from Exos actually, that just, you know, it's a single chip, uses very low current. So yeah, there's a number of things I want to do that, but I've also got some floppy drives for the ST. I'd like to do some repairs on the ST as well. Just catch up with the comments again. Ian Scott Johnson, Chris, you got some no clean flux for you. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. That's really, really good of you to do that. That's something I need to look at actually, is different fluxes and things. I plan to do something with that. I did get some flux donated from Demot Sweeney recently. That's another good channel you should check out. It's prompting for the second disc. Let's just do that. Sorry, this is the problem. I can only do one thing at once. I can either... There we go, it's doing it. Yeah, I can either talk or use my, you know, other part of my brain to do gaming or whatever. Another donation there, thank you very much. I don't know where these donations are going because I haven't set anything up for payment, or I haven't done anything. I didn't even know that that was something that was there. So yeah, very, very, very grateful for those donations. I don't expect donations at all, really. It's going to help fund, you know, some future repairs and some small giveaways and things, and some larger giveaways I think over the next few months. And I guess while we're on the live stream here, I've got to point out that when I did that last giveaway, the C64, I got into some hot water with that with Patreon. So yeah, I can't officially say that I'm going to give only donations to patrons. I have to say I'm going to give it to anybody who subscribes to me, which is fair. But I mean, that whole thing with that blue C64, I did put on there right at the start that it was something that I felt I wanted to give to my patrons because of they'd supported me, you know. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But yeah, the next few giveaways are going to be open to everyone. Got some smaller giveaways and some larger ones as well. You know, let's catch up with the messages again. Did you end up doing the VGA mod, Mick Will, for GBC? I didn't, Retro Revolutions, but I will be doing that. Just today I was thinking I really need to do that because it was one of the things that Will wanted, you know, Marco wanted me to do if I could. The only reason I didn't do it at the time is the same reason for the Lynx and the Game Gear. I was thinking about the best way to try and get video out of it, and sticking a 15-pin, high HD, not high HD, D-type, the high definition type with 1 with 3 rows on the links, it's more practical, I guess, because you've got more space there, and even on the Game Gear, but certainly on the Nintendo Game Boy Color, there's nowhere to fit something that large. But that's why I came up with the idea of using a single strip of pin header. So 7 pins or 6. I think you only need 6 actually. Red, green, blue, HV, and ground. That's 6. But I then started to think, actually, I don't like the idea of having a switch. There's a few things you could perhaps do with that to switch over the video. You could maybe wire the pot. It depends on how much current is sucks through that pin, kind of thing. I'm guessing that if you wired the pot up to the switch contacts, when the pot's all the way around to a short, as long as you don't burn out the pot, it should work, I think. So you should be able to use the pot. The other theory there, or the other idea, was to have 7 pins instead of 6, and on the 7th pin have that connected to the switch, automatically, so you're grounding or putting +5 into the switch, whatever that is, so that as soon as you plug the little connector in, it automatically is going to be switched onto the VGA out. But I think that's the way I'll go with it. I think I'll use a single strip of turn pin. I just need to cut a little slot just big enough for that turn pin. The only other thing that would be cleaner is to maybe look at something like HDMI, like a micro mini HDMI connector. You need to make sure there are enough pins on there though. You need there's at least 6 pins. So yeah, just catch up with some of the other messages here. Yeah, nice to see you fixed your audio troubles. Yeah, the audio's perhaps not great because, like I say, I'm just coming from a what's his name, mic up here, PS3. What's it called? iCam. Yeah, through PS3 iCam was faulty. Had a load of faulty stuff, and I just managed to get it working. It just needed a clean, actually. Audio was great, by the way. So glad you sorted it. Thanks, Forex. Thanks for the donation there by KOTM3. As I say, I wasn't expecting any donations, and I don't even know where they're going at the moment. YouTube's bank account or something. Has it crashed? I hope the stream hasn't crashed. Did I miss the end of it? Has it finished? Something's going on here. Let me press the button on the C64. Yeah, I think the C64's crashed actually. You still there? I think the stream's gone. Oh no, the stream's gone. I think. Because nobody's sending any messages. I seem to be back. Did I just disappear for a minute there? Yep. Okay. So, any suggestions? What else to play game-wise? Just catching up again because I missed a number of messages there. Yeah. So 4X audio is great, by the way. Yeah, I read that. Neffers, I'm still on the hunt for a Blitter for my FM. I missed out on getting one from Exos by a bloody day. You've got one. Just PM me your address on Twitter. And in fact, I might already have it. I can post you a Blitter because I think I've got 1 or 2 spare, and I'm never going to use them. So, yeah, you can have one of those, Neffers. You've done me enough favours in the past. Catch up here. Super chats. Somehow YouTube will send you money. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how because I haven't put anything in there unless it does it through the Google AdSense thing or something. I've got no idea. Yeah, Dave current live crash. Yeah, it's this PC. That's the other thing I need to do. I need to change this PC. So hopefully it won't crash again. But it seems to be working just now. Mario on the list. Yeah, let's give that a go. Actually. I've got that on a video that I'm about to upload soon actually on the nunchuck adapter from Bewhack. But I think I've got Super Mario on here. Yep, we do. We'll load the cart version. And I've got to try and find the joystick. This is really good. I'm really impressed with this. And as I'm about to mention on the Bewhack video, he recently interviewed, I think, the guy who developed this, Zero Page, is his alias. So if we hit start, what is impressive about this is it doesn't appear to be just a port in the sense that someone's not just sat down and rewritten the game to behave and look the same. I suspect, and I could be wrong, I haven't watched the interview with the Zero Page yet, but it looks to me like someone's taken the ROM, done a dump of the ROM, disassembled it, and they've done their own patches, if you like. They've patched the ROM, changed the addresses and things to fit with the C64 address map. But more importantly, the routines to do with the PPU, that draws the graphics, and the APU to do with sound, those have been had, if you like, patched code inserted in there somewhere in memory, and it probably makes calls to those to do the same sort of functions that you would expect in the VIC-20, not the VIC-20, C64, the Vic chip and the SID chip. But it's an incredible amount of work. It really is. Just got straight off the thing into the whole. It does look and sound almost identical to the NES. I'm just amazed. There's the occasional bit of slowdown where you can hear it on the sound. And obviously we've only got 3 channels here as opposed to the 4 on the NES. So, as you hit things and you do certain actions and things, the music stops a little bit. And that's where you can sort of tell, but graphically, you can tell I've got a bit of lag here with the video capture. Graphically, it looks identical. I think there's like half a tile at the bottom of the screen missing. Anyway, let's try and catch up with the comments here. Sid Forever just saying, "Hi Smooth MJ, Malk." Deep Cynical now, did I see Mario? Oh, okay, yeah. Covering old stuff here now, I'm reading messages that I've just read. Hello Jamie, Morgan, Just Games. Yeah, don't expect much from my streams, Jamie. They're nothing compared to yours, really. This is just, like say, me spending an hour, just chilling out on the C64. Thought we'd just test the live stream stuff at the same time. What I'd like to try and do is get another camera set up to this once they change the PC, which I think will be very soon. Maybe one of those little microscope type cameras. And if I clear enough desk space, then we should be able to do something a bit more meaningful rather than just playing games. But nevertheless, I do play games, so I may as well share some of that rather than not. Smooth MJ, did you ever get an Ultimate C64? Chris, I didn't. It's kind of on my list of things to do. It does look impressive. I was watching one of the other C64 channels recently, I forget his name now. C64, Commodore C64 something, I can't remember his name. I'll perhaps post a link in the description afterwards. This is a German guy, and he had a fault with his Ultimate C64. No, it wasn't actually, I'm getting confused. I'm thinking of the replacement C64 boards you can get from individual computers, the people that came up with the accelerators for the Amiga. That's what I'm thinking of. But nevertheless, it's an interesting video. I'll post a link down to that below. Yeah, Mike Smith, I can't believe Nintendo clamped down. Absolutely mean-spirited, yeah. I do agree, and I think I talked about this in the video I've not uploaded yet as well. What I would say is, I've kind of had a little bit of first-hand experience myself, that when you go down the route of developing certainly homebrew re-releases and things, modern remakes of old games, one of the problems that you get is if it's it's based on copyrighted material, if the copyright holder doesn't attempt to remove every instance of that type of thing, it sets a precedence sort of thing where when it goes to court, the person who's been charged, if you like, or not really charged, but the person who's been prosecuted can turn around and say, well, you did not take down this, and this. You were happy for those. What's the difference with this? Why am I now being penalised? And that's the main issue. That is the big problem. It's one thing I worry about with Alien, because I had a few people telling me that it would get a DMC takedown, DMCA is it? Whatever, takedown at some point. And I thought, well, I don't care. There's enough Aliens things out there already. Want files for Doom and things like that. I thought we'll just go for it. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to play on this too long because, like I say, I can't focus on this at the same time. But you can see it is very, very impressive. Let's find something else, and I'll just catch up with the messages, I think. So yeah, going back a bit. Someone distracted Nintendo's lawyers, yeah. Did you ever get that? Okay, I covered that one. Jamie, how are you? Gadget UK. Yeah, in terms of my health, yeah, I would say I'm a little bit better than I was when I started posting on Twitter a month or so ago. When I said, like, you know, I felt like I was dying, I really did. But the problems I've been getting, and it all started after I did that MVS, electrolysis, back a week or two afterwards. Massive problems with my left leg. Where, you know, it's like nerves. It's like the nerve in my whole left leg. Originally I thought it was like sciatic pain, but I've seen a number of doctors and I've been to A&E a number of times because, you know, the pain. I didn't sleep for like a month. I was waking up like 6-7 times a night, sleeping for maybe maximum of about an hour before, you know, waking up again. And I started getting other side effects. I started getting pins and needles on one side of my face. My left eye was twitching. I was getting blurred vision. I was getting confused, disorientated. It was really scary. It was really scary, if I'm completely honest. So this was about 4-5-6 weeks ago. It was like that, and I was at the point where I thought I was going to die. You know, I really did. I thought something really wrong with me. I've got like cancer or a brain tumour or I don't know, multiple sclerosis or something. But after I went and saw a really good doctor actually in A&E, and she diagnosed that a lot of the symptoms didn't seem to make sense, and she thought that it was perhaps because I'd had massive sleep deprivation for, you know, best part of a month because of the problems with my leg. So she gave me some really strong nerve painkillers, and after that I actually managed to sleep. I'm sleeping now for about 4 or 5 hours before I have to wake up and take more tablets, and actually that's made a huge difference. So all the other symptoms are gone, but I've just got these massive leg problems where I can't stand on my leg, I can't walk more than a few feet. It's it's out of control. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to ramble on about my health. Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to clamp down. Slowdown can be felt too. Yeah, I would agree with that. That Super Mario Brothers, there is a slowdown in a few places there. Perhaps when you've got. In fact, you're talking about something else there, I think, aren't you? Dreaming of some CPU accelerator. I'm not sure I'm talking about the same thing. Jamie Gritzy streaming. I hope we still are streaming and it's not disconnected again. Just on the original NES to be modded for HDMI, is there a big difference? Yes, there is actually. I presume you mean is it one of the mods that's been done by Kevtris? Because those are really super sweet. I was thinking of getting one of those myself at some point. It's like everything, I just haven't got around to it, and it's a lot of money, you know. Especially when I'm ordering from the States, because the thing you've got to remember in Europe, you start ordering from the US, if you're not careful, you get stung with import tax, and it's like something it's ridiculous. You know, you end up ordering something that's 150 quid or something, you end up paying about 20 or 30 quid in fees as well, or more. You know, it's ridiculous the amount of handling fees Royal Mail and various other people add on there. Jayash sent my original list. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading the same things here. I'm tired and I'm just reading the same messages. Glad your health seems better. Deeply cynical, thank you very much. Forex, Nintendo Warpath, regards to ROM sites. We've lost some great ROM sites already, sadly. Yeah, I'll make the same point I made on Twitter. You know, it kind of doesn't bother me when they do these things. It just makes it a bit more frustrating because you have to start talking to people in your network. You know, because everybody knows somebody who's going to have access to these ROMs. This is the stupid thing with removing it. It really is ridiculous and in fact, as we speak, it is back up there on the Internet Archive site. It's there. I don't think it's been pulled from there. But you can also get access to a lot of these things from the Google Cache as well. There's, I can't remember what it is, but there's a URL. If you do a search in Google for Google Cache, you'll find there's a URL you can use, and you can paste in what it is you want to search, and you can find stuff that's gone, that's been deleted. In some cases, like a year or more back. It's amazing how well that works. Mike Smith, when we can't do what is essential fan fiction on our favourite franchises, per share, yeah, it's like I say, I think what Nintendo should have done is made sure that it was totally non-commercial, and I don't know, maybe not turned a blind eye to it, but given it some sort of approval in such a way, as long as there's no money to be made from it, and that they've actually, you know, given that specific title their approval, if you see what I mean. Because then when it comes back to that precedence thing, when it comes to a court case, they could argue that actually they gave that a rubber stamp rather than just ignoring it or not trying to remove it. They actually gave that a rubber stamp because it was up to them at the end of the day. They can do what they want, but again, you know, I don't know, their lawyers perhaps don't want to get involved with it and all the rest of it. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up now. Get well soon, thank you. So, will you do some more zinc plating on something for me? Yeah, I'm not doing any more zinc plating in the near future. One thing I did do, and I guess this is a tip, if you can call it that, is when you do the zinc plating, you know, obviously I filled it with something like 5 litres of white vinegar. So all I had in there was some white vinegar, the zinc, and obviously the white vinegar will have removed some of the little bits of carbon that was still on the steel there. But at the end of it, the water was clean, you know, not water, but the vinegar. White vinegar was clean. All it contained was zinc primarily. So I just, you know, put all that back into the container there, and I can always just reuse that for zinc plating again in future. It'd be super easy just to get some of that into a small container, and we're away. Let's just try, what's that new game? There's a new game came out recently, Neutron, there it is, let's load that. Yeah, this is another homebrew game that came out recently, and it's by an author that's working on an RPG that looks really good actually, Sarah Jane Avery. Now, I'm not sure what other games she might have done for the C64, but this is pretty good. You can get this on itch.io. Yeah, feel better soon. Character response is super high quality. Yeah, totally agreed. Keep getting stung from DigiKey orders. Yeah, on the import fees and things. Yeah, I can understand that. Games. So let's press fire. Yeah, I like the jingle on this at the beginning there every time you get a new life. It's quite cool. One thing I will say is the tap pan. See that? It's like a sine wave, isn't it? They sort of come in from one side and swing back the other. And if you miss that first one, it can be an absolute sod. It's what kills you most of the time. The other one negative thing I would say about this, so that one's going to go down. The other negative thing I'd say about this is the hit detection is a little bit too perfect. If you're not straight on aiming at something, you don't kill it. I'll show you if I aim one of these here. So look, the laser, hang on. See that? Lasers didn't kill it. You've got to kind of be in just the right spot. But nevertheless, this is quite good. Sort of thing that Jamie might like actually. Oh, he likes his shmups. That's what happens when I read a comment. I don't know how on earth Jamie does it. He plays these games, he plays some of the hardest difficulty, he plays some of the hardest games to start with, and he's able to chat and stuff at the same time as playing the games. I just can't do it. Yeah, I like the look of shooter games for the win. Yeah, so there you go. Crashed again because I'm reading comments. Mike Smith, first computer actually. Yeah, talking about C64, mine wasn't. Mine was the ZX81, but then I had a Spectrum soon thereafter. My friend down the road, Grant, he had a C64. And my friend Andrew, I used to go around to Andrew's house an awful lot. His brother had a C64. Christian Iverson, nice to put a face to the name. Oh, we've got a boss, a mini boss. Yeah, I didn't get this far before, I had a quick go. It's got an interesting attack pattern there, those shots. Oh, suck it, boss shit. Yeah, those shots sort of like heat seek towards you. A bit like I was trying to explain when I did that Invaders demo the other day. Some of the shots in that do that when you get to some of the boss ships. But you can see what I mean about that pattern there. If you're too low and you miss one, they kill you. Oh my goodness, that's got hard really quick. Catch up with comments again. Let's just have another quick go. I'll think of something else to try while we're having a catch up. Yeah, Jamie, you too kind, mate. No, I'm not. You are really, really good at shmups, and the ones on the Amiga actually I find super hard. All the games you play on your channel I find ridiculously hard, and you progress through them like I just can't believe. And are able to communicate at the same time, something I am not. I mean, I can talk, but I can't read the comments, that's the problem. Maybe I need another screen here with some giant comments on it, because, you know, like maximise the screen or something. The window. Yeah, interesting hit collision detection, that's what I think. It's like, sometimes you hit it just on the edge, like so those didn't get hit then. I would say it just needs a small tweak there to the hit detection. It is good though, I don't like it. Oh, bugger. Good to see you up and about. thank you very much. Oh, these are shooting sideways now, I don't like that. Oh, they're supposed to be like bats, aren't they? Kind of remind me of the bats off Ghosts and Goblins, actually. Is this another boss or a mini-boss or something? Anything retro? Hi, hello, thanks for joining. Yeah. Ah, yeah, I'm getting confused. I was thinking I was still on the first gameplay, I wasn't. This is the second time round with the same boss. There we go. Electron Ash, hello. Electron Ash knows everything about everything to do with electronics. Seriously. If you just, if there's something you're not familiar with at all, you just mention it, Electron Ash knows everything about it. I absolutely guarantee it. He's one of the smartest people I know. He reminds me of a guy I work with. I work with a guy called, well, I can't tell you his full name, he's Andrew. And he teaches at the OU. He works alongside me, so he's a software engineer, I guess. But prior to that, he's worked in metallurgy. He's got a master's or something in materials. He's studied quantum mechanics. He's studied mathematics to an absolutely ridiculous level, and numerous other things. He knows everything about everything, Andrew. And I compare Electron Ash to him, actually. Let's have a look at some more homebrew, because there are one or two more games, I think, here that might be interesting if you've not seen them. This one might be interesting. Yoomp. I don't know if you remember, I did a video on the Atari 65 XE a while back, and this is a game on the 65, well, not on the 65 XE, it's on the Atari, 8-bit. So it probably works on the 800 and it might even work on the 400, I don't know how much memory it needs. But it was a really good game, and they ported it to the C64, which I was shocked at. Actually, I didn't think we'd ever get this on the C64. The idea on this game is to you bounce the ball, try and avoid the gaps. It's kind of like that. What's that game? Is it Trailblazer? Or I'm thinking of something. There's something else with a similar name. It might be Trailblazer. The Gremlin graphics one, wasn't it? Yeah, you bounce the ball and you've got to try and avoid the holes. The one thing I will say is, whilst the music's really good here on the SID, to me it's not as good as it sounds on the Atari, actually, on the Pokey, because it's a different tune. It's a completely different tune, different author. But it is pretty good. Psychedelic graphics there kind of play with your eyes a bit more than the Atari version as well, actually. And the different tiles do different things. Some of them slow down the ball, some of them speed it up, I think, or make you jump further, etc. So you have to kind of plan your route through the level. I think if you press fire, you do like a super jump as well. Yeah, I just did it then. Yeah, the music is definitely not as good as the Atari version. Yeah, thanks, Jamie. You'll have to check this out if you think it looks amazing. Have a go with it. I'm not sure if I showed this in my stereo 65 XE, stereo pokey video. This particular game. If you listen to the music on it, it's got a really catchy tune. And whilst this one's pretty good, it's just not the same. Electron Ash Pokey chip is underrated. Yeah, I really like the Pokey. There's something really nostalgic about the way it sounds. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was kind of drawn to the Atari Lynx as well.